In terms of staff wellbeing, it's important for us as leaders and managers to understand that, you know, we've got our own well-being to look after as well, and the staff's well-being, and it's sometimes that can become quite depleted when you're in a very difficult situation and you're supporting children who have experienced trauma, because our staff want to do the best for the children. And if you've got children that are in your room in front of you every day who are traumatised and who are displaying behaviour that reflects their trauma, that's really hard, because you want to know that you're doing the best. And I think the most important thing that I could say to anybody is there's not a textbook here. You can't pick up the answers. There's not a dummy's guide to dealing with trauma. These are individuals, and we have to support our individuals. But the other thing to remember is you have to look after yourself within that as well. And I suppose if I had a time machine, I would go back and do things differently from when we received it, you know, when we experienced the trauma that we experienced. But what I would do is, what we did later on, is to make sure that there were proper structures in place for staff to support each other. So our staff have continued with a sort of TLC model of professional inquiry, and the TLC model provided a great opportunity for the staff to talk through issues that they may have been having in class, or even things that they had heard the children say that they were really finding it difficult to, you know, to park in a sense. So that was a really important structure there. The support that we had from educational psychology in terms of listening ears, but also in terms of providing mindfulness training for staff, which, you know, many of the staff found really quite useful and will develop and continue to use as a tool for the future. Another thing that I would try to have in place, and again, it's not something that's enforceable, is the staff now meet at 3 o'clock every day for a cup of tea and a let off steam at the end of the day. And that's different from playtime and lunchtime, because playtime and lunchtime, you know, you're still going back into the class and you've still got more work to be done. But at that 3 o'clock point, you know, the staff just needed to be there for each other. And I think that's been really important throughout it all, is that we're a team. My door is always open, Margaret's door is always open, and it's not the first time that we've had people in our rooms crying, and it won't be the last either. It's not the first time that we've closed the door and probably me more than Margaret has had a cry, you know, but that's part of life and that's part of being a team. But again and again, the most important thing is there is not a right answer. You have to deal with every situation as it comes along.